All right, so this video is once you've downloaded both Workbench and server side, this is when you open your Microsoft Workbench, this is the front of the screen that you should see ultimately. Again, this video is not intended to replace the direct connection that you'll be getting through the university. This is just the alternate. So if you want the direct way, you would have to again create a new connection like this here. You would put that IP from Google, whatever it is, 36, 34. I'm just randomly putting stuff. And then you'll be using root as user, this as user, and whatever connection name you want. But that is not what I'm doing here. I am showing you alternate way. Once you have done this setup, you should have seen something like this, MySQL connections. Double click on that one. And remember the password that I was talking about. So this is the password that you need. So hit root, mine's root, whatever you put is going to be yours. So you should be seeing something like this. But again, just quickly, let's quickly look at what this really means, right? The portal shows that there's no schema. Remember, schema is your logical design or predefined structure that's already in place. You don't have that yet. Let's see how we can build this, right? So if we don't have any schema, obviously we can't run any queries. The query is run in here. So, if you did something like select from everything from, let's say, customer, and then with always ending with the semicolon, and then you're hitting run, all the way at the bottom, you'll see some errors. So that is not good because we really don't have any database, right? So what we can do here is first create a database. Again, a disclaimer here, if you've already managed to get access through the university, this step is not required. But if you are having trouble and you want to get it done tonight, or whenever you're watching the video, this is the step for you. So again, hit the plus button here, a little cylindrical stuff. And the schema, the name of the schema you want to use is a user. Okay, user, U-S-E-R, user. And you go all the way at the bottom right and hit apply. And just leave it as it is. And then essentially it is saying create schema user. Remember the CRUD function, the first one, create schema user. It automatically does it for you. Hit apply and finish. And if you close this and if you come to the right here, now you see some user, a schema called user or database called user. Now, if you look at the tables, there's no tables. If you had already gone the access route via the university, the tables would have been pre-populated. But obviously we're doing a workaround, so we need to add some bunch of little steps. So what we can do here is we can go to server and we can do data import. Okay. Now, the point here is I am going to give you a file that called dumps, D-U-M-P-S. And the file will, the file will ensure that you have all the queries, the create table, create this, create whatever, and it will automatically populate this stuff for you. Okay. So I'm going to give you a file called dumps. Okay. So you save it wherever you want to save. And again, once again, let's go back. You want to go after you create, you got to make sure you create the schema here. So obviously use this button. If you always name it user, because the original schema name is also user. So the references will always be user. So might as well use user here. And go to server again and data import. And once you do data import, this is where it's going to be. Now, I will give you a file called dumps. So if you look at my desktop, there's a file called dumps. Hit dumps, hit OK. And the schema should show up here. If it doesn't show up, just check off that. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And then hit the start import on the right-hand side, all the way at the bottom. And as you can see, it is doing something. It is importing stuff from your local computer, the file, and it is dumping on this user button. Okay, so we have 11 tables. The status says 11 of 11 imported. Excellent. So how do we know? So let's go back here and let's kind of see what we can do here, right? So let's we can leave it as it is and then go here again, and then maybe you do refresh all. Okay, so once you do refresh all, you should see all the tables here. So if you see the table here coming in, um, excellent. That would be a fantastic way of figuring it out, right? Um, and then how do you know the schema of this one? Well, what you can do is you can go to again server, sorry, database again, schema, a visual schema rather, like what is connected where. So you go database and then you do a reverse engineer here and leave everything as it is. So keep on doing next. And then again, the password, my case, root. Okay, and then next, and select this, next, next. See, 11 total objects selected, 11 selected, and execute. Okay, and in about 10 seconds, you should see something of a schema here, next, and finish, and you should see the connection, right? So what is telling you is that obviously this is the user schema, this the table that you connected. You can also find this information on your PDF. So let's we can go here again. So all the things that you have to do here is this is running the query. You got to make sure that everything is run here. So your user interface might look something different. I don't know. If it does look different, don't worry about it. It's just maybe a new different version, but really you're running query here. So first thing you probably want to do is you want to use this schema. So the function here is use user. Okay. And with the ending with the semicolon, and then hit execute. And if it's a green button or a green check off all the way at the bottom, you're good, right? You're good. So now you can use this query. So you can just leave it as it is. Let's look at the table here. Okay. Let's look at family select, and we can do select everything from. I mean, best way to write it is going like this from family and ending with the semicolon there, right? So let's run that. And when you ran that, again, it ran well, and your output comes somewhere here. Okay. You can also filter rows based on more information. You can put something and run it again. You can edit it and so forth. But your query is run. If you did something funky, like let's say FIMIL, it would error out and it would not give you content, right? So that is a first function. The other one is, let's say select from family. Let's look at where, where, like if it doesn't appear in blue, where family equals 100, right? And then you end it with a semicolon. Let's run it. And it looks like there is only one information. So that is one example of this scenario. Now, if you wanted to see how the schema is connected, so let's say you want information between cells and region or region cells, you have to make sure a bunch of joins. So for today's exercise, we were just getting started, I want you to run all read queries, right? So everything would start from select, right? All right, so this is how you would set it up. If you now, one of the challenges that you have to ensure is you don't accidentally do update or delete of the tables. The beauty about having a York University set up database is it is only readable. You cannot delete anything. This one, it is your database. So the chances are you will accidentally delete it, but that's okay. If you ever delete it, what you can do here is, again, you can delete, drop the schema here, drop now. And again, you can just create a new schema called user and apply here, finish. And then you go here, you make sure you highlight it here, just to make sure. So data import, it's in here. Your file folder location could be different. And again, that's it. And somehow it's not showing up, but here. So let's try that again. Okay, so again, let's do dumps. Okay. Now it's, if you just keep it as it is and don't use this, I don't think it turns on. So start import. If you see an error, it'll come 0 of 11 imported, or it'll give you some issues, right? So again, boom, done. And again, if you come here, refresh it, make sure you refresh it, and you see tables. Okay, so tables are your boxes. It stores information. You can potentially go in here and you can alter table, you can drop table. So for example, if you alter table, it would you can actually change the information in here, which is not the intent of this the exercise. All right, so that is it. Just to get you set up, I will be leaving 3 files for you. One is going to be dumps file, which you'll use to import files to this folder. I'll also be leaving you with like a cheat sheet of some sort, and then you can play around with it. And after that, you will be doing lab 1 on your own. Now, the intent is for you to do lab 2 rather on your own, because you give it a shot based on the logic. It's all about logic. Select from where. Um, join statements maybe is needed. Um, join statements is maybe is needed. And also, you might want to try it out yourself, obviously. But really, you also need to create a bunch of business questions based on this query. So the best way to do it here would be going back in here. Sorry, I think going back in here again and kind of asking me what would be interesting for you to ask. Try to do your questions, lab 2 questions, and then maybe by the end of this week, I will put up another video explaining what was the thought process. I'll write the query myself, and then I'll try to explain it. But the answer is also already on the folder if you wanted to check. All right, that's it. Best of luck.